Hey, thank you for joining me for a Girl Scout Gold Award web app training. This training right now is set up for internal staff to learn more about what the Girl Scout Gold Award web app is and also how it relates to how we will process gold awards, hopefully in the future. The Go Gold web app was designed by GSUSA to streamline all communications, give girls an organizational tool to help them along in the gold award process, and it even allows girls to share their successes via social media, so it's a very neat app. During this training here today, I'll simulate what a girl sees as she progresses through the app, and then I'm actually going to show you how the council staff access our portion of the app and how those two speak to each other and correlate and in turn give the girl an awesome tool to complete her gold award. So as you see on the screen, we're starting with the Girl Scout Gold Award web app homepage. Now this is the page the girl will go to when she first starts the whole process of working on the app. You can see the address on the top here is girlscouts.org/mygoldaward. That's all she needs to put in order to access this page. And each page of the Gold Award app is kind of separated into three sections. The first section, highlighted by the black box here, describes what the page you are on is all about. So as you can see, the home page, it's just a generic description of what the Girl Scout Gold Award is. Scrolling down, on the left-hand side of all subsequent pages from now on, you'll have your input pages. This is where the fields will be for you to answer questions, things you will need to fill out before you can complete a step and move on to the next step. And then on the right-hand side, which I think they did a fantastic job of with this app, is where they have Girl Scout facts, figures, as you can see here, and also some tools and resources. And the nice thing about the right-hand side of each page from here on out is that it all corresponds to the current step they're on. So when it comes time to, for example, write their project proposal and put that all together, there will be tips on the right-hand side about budgeting and sustainability and global reach. So they've really thought everything through pretty thoroughly, I think, and put together a great resource for the girls. Also on this first homepage, when a girl visits this page, she'll see that on the left-hand side, there actually are a preview of each of the Gold Award steps. So if she's not familiar yet with what exactly the Gold Award entails, this is also a pretty good place for her to start because she'll see some simple bullet-pointed things that go along with each step that can help her realize what she's actually taking on. So after the girl decides she's ready to go for the Gold Award, she'll go to this homepage and click Register Now. And as you can see here on the right-hand side, there are some tools. So if she hasn't really started thinking about her Gold Award yet, doesn't really know about her prerequisites, she can read more about the different journey sets that are available to her. But let's say for the sake of this training that she already has done her prerequisites. And you can see here she has three options. She can either have check the box that says she's received her silver award and also one senior or ambassador journey, or she has completed her 2 journeys. And again, this box here for learning more, she can actually click down here and read more about the journeys and what she has to do to earn them. So again, let's say though for this training that she's received her silver award and completed 1 of the journeys. Once you click that box, you'll get another drop-down menu option here to put in the date the silver award was completed. So let's say she did that last February. And the menu here about where your council, which council where you earned your silver award, all of the councils are listed in here. So you kind of have to scroll down to find Northwestern Great Lakes, but there we are. And then here you can click which journey she's completed. All of the journeys are listed there, and the date she completed it, and then also a space to put the volunteer name. Now on each of the steps after you register and even through the registration process, as you can see here, there's a checkbox on the bottom that says I have read and understand the Girl Scout Standards of Excellence, as in this case, or I have read and understand the tips and tools. The girl will have to click this box in order to move on. And actually in all subsequent steps from here, every field must have something in it for the Girl Scout to move on to the next step. So, and I actually kind of like that they did that because then it kind of if the girl doesn't read it, we really don't have any way of knowing that. But because she has to click it, at least it gives her the responsibility to know that there is something else on the page that she should probably look at before moving on. And so we continue on to our registration. This is where she'll create her profile. And as the app is great at populating fields that have previously already been filled out, we can see that we still have Northwestern Great Lakes here. And the council address, when we set the web app up, we had our P.O. box still in Green Bay as our normal mailing address, so that's why that's in here. It's not anything to be concerned about for now until we get that updated to the Appleton address, because with the app, nothing goes through the Postal Service, everything goes through email. Speaking of email, the council email that's listed here is mygoldaward@gsnwgl.org. That email actually goes right into my inbox, and from there I'll forward on correspondence to you, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. And here's where the Girl Scout fills out her information. For the sake of this demonstration, we'll use some fake things. And she'll put her date of birth in there, her school, her grade, and then her approximate graduation date. And the last step of this process includes information about the troop she's in. If the girl's an IGM, she can certainly click the I am not a troop and those fields become irrelevant. But let's say that she is in a troop, put her troop number in, put her leader's name in, and the volunteer email and phone. It's important to have the volunteer's email accurate and have an email that the volunteer actually uses, because when the girl comes to the point where she's actually submitting her proposal and her final report, the app automatically carbon copies the volunteer as well as the project advisor on that. So it's another great communication tool that the app kind of incorporates. So it's important that the girl put in an accurate email address. And this part of this, the registration process it has to do with her setting up her login info. Now, as I mentioned before, the app is pretty heavy with social media. The nice thing about how they did this is you don't have to do social media in order to access and use the app. You can get all the features without having to do that step. However, for the girls that really do enjoy social media and love to talk about what they're doing with their friends through social media, they can certainly sign in with Facebook or sign in with Twitter. But again, for the purpose of this demonstration, we will do the email sign in. The only stipulation for the password is that it is 6 characters, I believe. And as you see here, you'll have the option to click autosave. For every slide or step you come to from here on out, it will automatically save every now and then. However, as part of the girl training that we do, GSUSA even suggests that they just get in the habit of manually saving as well, just because in the case of a computer glitch or something where you're in the middle of a step and you do have to leave and it's not saved, it's just a good habit to get into. Also, a girl can upload a profile photo, and again in the girl training I'm going to heavily suggest that they do put their photo in there, at least a headshot, because then we also have a photo of the girl at hand in case we need to use it for marketing purposes. After these fields are all filled out, click register, and it will tell you if you have any errors before you proceed, which is the case here. It'll show up in a gold bar. So scroll down and look for any red portions. Graduation date must not have taken. So then the girl can go back and put that in. And everything else looks like it worked, so then we'll click register again. And now she has her personal profile page. She's registered and she's in the system. What she'll come to is her homepage that says "Hello, Lucy," and the step that she's on and actually a cool button that can take her right to it. But before we get into that, I do want to show you if the girl were to completely leave the website and want to sign back in, or if she wants to sign out and know that she's signed out and it's not still active, if she clicks this button right here to sign out and then goes back to My Gold Award and wants to log in, she simply signs in with her email, or she could do the Facebook and Twitter as you see there. And she also has the option to keep herself logged in. So if it's a personal computer where she's not nervous about other people accessing what she has in there, she can certainly keep herself signed in. And then as soon as you sign in, you go right to your home page here. Now again, on the right-hand side, there's some information, tools, tips that the girl can certainly read through. There's great links as far as ideas on how to choose a project, different organizations and communities that could possibly help her narrow down her focus. So we certainly want to remind the girl to use those tools and explain why they're there. And then on the left-hand side, on the home page, which is indicated by the little house here, you'll have kind of almost like a Facebook timeline. Every time you complete a step, or every time you do something that has to do with one of these as you go along your project, it'll show up on your homepage. So you can see at a glance what you've completed, what step you're on, and also they'll have links to start the next step if you're ready to do so. So let's do that. We'll start on step 1 with Lucy. Now step 1, as you see, is choose an issue. When we do the girl training, we'll actually talk more about these steps and the reasons these questions are being asked and how she can appropriately fill them out. But really, step 1 is getting your broad idea. You're not supposed to be at step 1 and have exactly what you want to do for your project. For example, on the left-hand side here, the first question is what inspires you? Perhaps that's just helping others. Maybe that's as vague as you are right now, and that's perfectly fine. On the right-hand side, if you do need other ideas, there are fantastic tools and resources. If you click Take Action, Project Ideas, and then click Communities, it'll actually take you to a page that GSUSA has created about mapping Girl Scout Gold Award projects or Silver or Bronze Award all over the country. And then the girl can click the map and she can actually centralize on any area she wants to and read about different projects girls are doing. And once she's actually approved on her project, she can come back to this page and submit her own project so it shows up on the map. Also, if the girl's having a problem understanding the difference between community service and take action, here's an awesome little description on what those differences are and how she can make sure she's actually selecting a take action project. So that's just an example of some of the tools and resources on the right-hand side of the page that the girl can use. There's also, as you can see, interviewing tips and tips on making that elevator pitch. Now, as I said before, you can't progress to the next step until you fill in all the fields. So instead of reading these questions to you, I'm going to fill them in with one character so we can progress to the next steps. But just to let you know that a lot of the questions in here are the same questions that we would have in the guidelines packet, which the girls currently can print out. And then also when it comes time to do the proposal and final report, the questions that they'll fill out there are the same questions that they would get from doing the paperwork. And again, we can't go on until we click I've read the tips and tools. And here you see that there's the buttons to share your progress with your friends. Again, completely optional, and I don't have a Facebook account set up as a sample, but if you were to click Facebook or Twitter, what it would do is it would have a post on the girls' timeline that says, I've just completed step 1 of my Girl Scout Gold Award, and it gives her an opportunity to kind of brag about what she's done to her friends and family. And here is that button for Save Your Progress and Complete Later in case you are not quite done with something, but you want to make sure it's saved for the next time. So let's complete step 1. Now automatically it'll take you to step 2, but again, the Gold Award is a very long, intense process, and chances are you're not going to go through step 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 as fast as we are. So let's say the girl logs out and logs back in and she comes to her home page. I just want to show you what that timeline kind of looks like. So here we have that she's completed step 1, choose an issue. She can view what she's done, and there's also this the link to start on step 2 that also shows up here. And at any time after she's done with a step, If she goes to step 2, step 3, step 4, for example, and that shows up on this side of her homepage, she'll have the option to kind of go back in time and tweet or Facebook about that success. Step 2 is to investigate. This is where she's going to narrow down her big idea and bring it into and really hone it into what she wants to do for her project. Tools and resources on the right-hand side, great ideas to research to really narrow down her project. But for this step, GSUSA suggests uses a mind mapping tool. And for girls or volunteers who don't know what that is, there's a sample here, and you can download your own mind map template. Now, the template is not interactive. What it'll be is the same drawing, but without any fields filled in. So they would have to print it off and fill it out. But I think the reason that download is on there, even though it's not interactive, is to show girls how to draw a mind map. And these are obviously very easy for them to draw their own. So it's a great tool and one that really helps narrow down those big focuses. And then, of course, there are questions here on the underneath the mind map download that they will have to fill out before they move on. And before we do move on, I did want to point this part out too. On the right-hand side here, there's a box for My Gold Award Notes, which is completely optional. But this would be a space where, let's say you have a note that you need to call Rick at the city, and you want to do it by Friday. On this page, when it comes to these questions on the left-hand side, there really isn't much space to just put a quick note here and there that doesn't, because it might not necessarily correlate to the question being asked. So that's why GSUSA has put this notes page here. Now, the key to remember about the notes, and we'll put this obviously in the girl training, is that these do not automatically save. If you were to write this in here and then go on to step 3 and complete this step, your notes would not transfer. However, if you click Save Your Notes, you get a little notification that your note has been saved, and now when you move on to the next step, your note will follow you, so you'll always have that with you. To click the box that we've read our tools and resources, again, you can share your progress or save and complete later, but we will choose to complete this step. And now we're on step 3. This is where the girl builds her team and chooses her project advisor. We have a lot of girls who have trouble figuring out who their project advisor should be. A lot of girls tend to go or think that they should go right to a parent or a troop leader, because honestly, that's an easy way to go. But for the girl who's really focused and dedicated to doing her project correctly, there are some awesome tips here on what kind of project advisor she should pick. Likewise, there are some great team tips to help her build her Gold Award team so it's a very efficiently running group. So we will make up some fake information for our project advisor. And again, we have to make sure that the email we put for the project advisor is an active usable email, because they will get information from us, and a phone number as well. Here, she can put all of her information in about her team, and it's a great opportunity for her to organize who she's going to be asking her to volunteer, and also to assign them a role even. So she could be as detailed as, I know I want this person to help me garner in-kind donations, and I know I want this person to help me with fundraising. And there's even an option to add more if she has a large team. Here we can click that we've read the tools and resources, again, share with our friends if we choose, or we can save and complete later. And as you can see, our Gold Award notes here, calling Rick at the city by Friday, did transfer over to our next step. Now that brings us to step 4. Step 4 is creating the plan. This is the information that's going to be compiled into her proposal. So in the girl training, I'm going to make sure that we let girls know to be as detailed as possible. I do not believe there is a restriction on the number of characters you put in any of these fields. So if the girl needs to write 5 paragraphs in order to get her point across or her idea across, then she should certainly fill in as much as she can. She'll put in her project title, and she'll put in her proposed start date. Now, in the girl training, we're going to let the girl know that she's going to want to do her proposed start date no less than 4 to 5 weeks out. because there is a process after she puts her proposal in. It has to go to us, it has to go to the committee, it has to be read and discussed, and then it finally can go back to the girl. So we want the girl to be aware that it might take 4 to 5 weeks. And then, of course, she can do a proposed completion date. When it comes time to filling out the final report, there is a note that the girl has to complete the project by September 30th of the year she graduates. But there's nothing in it before that final report page that says that, so we'll make sure to do that in the girl training as well. On the right-hand side, before we move on with our project proposal, there are, like I said earlier, some awesome tips for the girls. If they are having trouble trying to see the grand scheme of things, for example, there's a goals and obstacles tool. She can put in here, what is the goal you would like to achieve with your project? And for example, what do you think is going to happen that could go wrong? What are their foreseeable obstacles? So she can certainly use these, and we would definitely suggest her to. But again, it's not required that these fields are filled out. It's really only the thing on the left-hand side that's required. And again, there's sustainability tips, and I believe this tab has some example projects. Yep, so she can even get some ideas from there as well. And of course, planning and budgeting tips. Now, since GSUSA has determined that the quality of the project is more important than the quantity, meaning the number of hours, there is no time log that the girl has to submit. And likewise, there is no budget the girl has to submit other than this little box here that says, what is the estimated overall project cost? So let's say the girl has done some research and she thinks it's going to cost her $550. If the girl needs help doing research, under the planning and budgeting tips here on the right-hand side, there are some questions that can help her determine what her budget will be. Okay, I believe we filled out our project details, which are the title and the start and end dates. Then we'll go to the project description. And remember, these are the questions that she'll want to be very detailed about so the committee understands what her project is. But for the sake of time in this training, I'm just going to fill in all of these boxes with a character. And actually, this part I think is very neat too. As part of filling out the proposal, it asks her to read the 15 Girl Scout leadership outcomes, and then she can click as many or as few as she thinks she will succeed or earn by completing this project. And again, our budget cost is right here. We'll have to click that we've read our tools and resources, and then of course there is the share progress with your friends. Step 5 is where she actually submits her project proposal. So when she opens up step 5, it'll give a little bit of information on her project, the title basically, but then it also has information about the council. So this should all populate from previous entries, but I would suggest that the girl just make sure that everything is still correct and accurate. And it looks like it all is. At the bottom of this page, she has the choice to download, review, or print her project proposal. And in the girl training, I'm going to suggest strongly that they do that because, well, technology is only so great and things could get lost. So it's just a good practice to get into doing that. And here, the large button, email your project proposal, is how she will submit it. She'll click on that, and an email box will pop up. She'll see that it's going to My Gold Award. Again, that goes to me in my inbox. The subject will be her name and her project plan. And then you can see that it's also CCing her troop volunteer and her project advisor. There's an option here for her to be CC'd on the message as well, so she gets a copy of it. And in the body of the email, there is a, I guess, a canned or formed letter that automatically pops up. She does have the option to add whatever she wants to personalize that message. So let's say there's a part of her project proposal that might not be clear. This is where she can add a little note to us as well. Then she will click submit, and another box will pop up notifying her that her email has been sent. And that brings us to my email inbox. As you can see, we just got Lucy's project proposal in the mail, and it is a PDF form. So when we open it, take a second. Let me take a long second. Here we go. This is how her report will look. So it will look exactly like the paperwork that GSUSA currently has out for Gold Award, except everything will be filled in with her fields. And it'll be able to print very easily, very nicely. So that's a fantastic tool. Okay, so she submitted her proposal. Now her next step is to wait. And here she's at her home page here. So she's on step 5, and it shows all the steps she's completed. Now the time comes for us to go to the to GSUSA's page. And to access our portion of the web app, you'll go to girlscouts.org/mygoldaward/admin. And the page that'll pop up will request that you put in your information. Now everyone, every person who's involved with approving Gold Awards in their region has access to this site. Please let me know if you have trouble getting on or accessing anything once you're on, and we can figure that out. There is an option to be remembered, so you'll always be logged in when you go on as well. So here's the home page as you will see it. Right now we actually have 2 girls who are using the app. They're both in step 2. One of them is in step 2 and one is in step 5. But here is Lucy Jones, who's our training girl, I guess you could say. So this is what you would see for Lucy. You'll see that you're able to download her project proposal. You'll see when she last logged in. You'll see what step she's on. You'll see her project title at a glance, and you'll see her grade. And if you click on her name, you'll see her email address, what troop she's in, if she did a Journey and a Silver Award, and you can even put notes in there about her. Now, when it comes time to getting the project proposal approved, what you will do is you'll come to this page, or you'll use what I forward you when I get the email to send her project proposal to the committee. So just like you would do now, and the committee will, just like they do now, review the proposal as they do, meet and discuss if there's any changes or updates that need to be made. And honestly, chances are there will be changes and updates that need to be made, because it's very rare that we see a proposal come through that's completely fine to be approved right away. So what you would do after the back and forth with the committee, and they tell you the girl's fine to go on, but we need these questions answered, what you would do is click pending council approval, and then you'd click needs improvement. And when you do this and apply it, it'll show the status here. So you know that we're stopped somewhere, and we need to get more from the girl before we can move forward. Now what that does to the girls page, and we'll refresh her page so we can see what that looks like, is she will get a notification that she did a good job on her Gold Award project proposal, but it needs improvement. And it says you will be receiving guidance from us shortly. And then after receiving our feedback, you can revise your project proposal and submit it. So from there, the committee will email the girl and tell her, we need these 6 questions answered, or we need a lot more detail. We're going to need to set up an in-person meeting and talk about how to resubmit and what you do need to do to resubmit. So after that has happened, the girl can come back on her web app and click Resubmit Step 5. Now, the issue with the web app here, and this is one of the bigger issues I have, is that it takes you to Step 5, but really the girl has to go to Step 4, because to resubmit her proposal means she needs to redo some of these questions. So she'll have to actually go back to Step 4, and we'll make sure we make that clear in the girl training. So let's say she adds what she needs to add. Then she'll complete Step 4, and then she'll go to Step 5. And all of the additions she put from Step 4 now will be in her new project proposal. So again, I would suggest that she download and save her new resubmitted version, and then she can go through again and email her project proposal just as she did before. Her email's been sent, and it will come to my inbox. And you will get notification when she has resubmitted. And then again, you can send it to the committee so they can review it and make sure everything is up to date. And then you will go onto the Gold Award app and obviously it will refresh by the time you would be visiting it. And now you'll see that it's pending council approval again because she's resubmitted. Once the committee has determined that she's done the additions and updates she needs and gives you the okay, you can go in and click approve and then apply that. Now you can see at a glance that she's approved for step 5. She will get, after she refreshes, she will get a notice that congratulations, her Gold Award project proposal is approved, and then to proceed to step 6. Now step 6 is taking action. So this is where she's in the field. She's doing her project. There's not much to do for the web app in step 6. In fact, part of me feels like they just added something here, the creating post, because they had to add something for step 6. So what I don't want the girls or you to feel nervous about is the words create post, because you don't have to ever post anything on social media. And by clicking create post, what'll happen is a box will pop up where you can add whatever you want to do, videos, photos, just text, a title, enter something about it. A girl could put, I'm working on building the shed for the animals at the Humane Society. So she can write that in here, but she can also maybe put a photo in there too if she wants to, and upload that to go with that post. Now when she submits the post, it will just go onto her page. No one else will see it ever unless she wants to show them, because the public sharing is off. So there's no option to post it on Facebook or Twitter. Now, if she does want to post it on Facebook and Twitter, she'll have to click the I understand my post will be public and then turn public sharing on. And once she does that, you can see that the Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest logos show up. So she can choose to put what she wants on social media at any given time. If she wants to do a couple posts, she can certainly do that. And again, has the option to share whichever one she wants to. She has the option to edit and delete as she goes too. So this might actually be a great area for her to put notes down as her project is going. And then these posts and notes can help her fill out her final report when it comes time to do that. But again, at no time does she have to share anything via social media if she doesn't want to. Then we will complete that step. And then finally, it brings us to step 7, which is turning in our final report and reflecting on what we've done. The girl here will get tools and resources on how to share her successes, and then also a reflection tool that asks questions that will help her fill out her final report if she needs that assistance. A lot of these fields will have already populated from previous entries, but again, suggest that the girl go through and make sure everything's accurate. Troop details are still accurate. The Get Help area, her project advisor should still be in there. Her team members will all still be in there. There is still the option to add more. So let's say as she's doing her project, she realizes she had more people than she thought. She can certainly add them here. And here are the bulk of the questions for the filling out the actual final report. Oops, we jumped too far. Project history 2. So as you can see, there are a lot of questions, but again, they're pretty specific questions that help the girl fill out everything she needs so the committee knows what her project was all about. Let's see. As you can see, the 15 outcomes here have transferred over from the proposal, but let's say the girl reads them again when she's filling out her final report and realized, I have done a lot more of these. She can click as many as she wants to update that as well. And again, we have to click that we've read the tips and tools. And here's that note that I mentioned before that it says it's critical that your final report is submitted and approved by September 30th in the year you graduate high school. So kind of a final reminder for the girl. Here's a large button to download her final report, which I would suggest all girls do. And then a notice to make sure that her information is all accurate. And she can submit her final report. Another email box will pop up. The same people will get the email, so the volunteer and the project advisor. This button is fantastic here. It says, I have additional materials to submit via mail or in person. Once she clicks that button, a generic message will be put in the body of the email saying, I will be submitting additional materials. So that way, once I forward you her email then you will know that she might be stopping by the office to drop off a photo book, a CD, any type of handout, anything like that. So you'll know to expect more for her report. She'll click submit. She'll get the notification email or notification box again, and I will get that email sent to me. From there, I will forward it to you, and then you can do the same process of sending it to the committee and having the committee come back if there's any questions or problems to have the girl answer them. So the same type of process can happen, or will happen, I guess, when it comes to the final report. If the committee or the mentor looks at the final report and says, well, I'm a little confused about what we have here, they'll let you know. We can click needs improvement, and then that committee member can talk to the girl and figure out what needs to be improved. But let's say for the sake of the training that everything looks great, you will click approve, and it'll show up as her status as approved, and the girl will get this note on her homepage. Congratulations, you've earned the Girl Scout Gold Award, and there's a link here to learn more about the Alumni Network, which is fantastic. And again, she can choose to make a Facebook post or tweet about that success. So that's pretty much all we need to know about the Girl app. There are a few more things I want to show you on the Staff app, just so we can make sure we know about all the tools available to us here. As I said, this is where all girls will show up for our council. So right now there's no way to really divide up the girls by region. So we'll just have to make sure that you know which girls you're looking at when you come in here. But you can do some different filters. So if you want to know how many girls are waiting for their project to be approved, you can click step 5 and it'll show you all the girls that are in step 5. You can also do by status. If there's something that we want to make sure, or we want to see the girls that are in progress, you can look right there at in progress, and you can even go and say, we want to see all the girls who've completed, and then those girls will show up. If you want to get more detailed, once we get a lot of girls using this app, you might want to look for a date, maybe for a report. Maybe we want to know how many girls completed their projects between March 31st and April 3rd. That's not a big timeline, but you can put those dates in there and that'll do that as well. I also believe that if you search for a name, Lucy, in this box, Lucy will pop up. Other functions of this app include the Reports tab, which doesn't have a lot of information in it, but it shows you at a glance how many girls are in each step. So you can see right now we have one girl in step 2, one girl in step 5, and of course the sample we just did, step 7, is completed. The Councils tab is information on our council. So it'll show you the list of council users that we currently have. So all of you right now are in as admins. And the reason this is because an admin has access or the ability, I guess, to approve and manipulate those fields. If the other option is to be a reader in this app, and the reader only has access to the reports. The proposals and the final report. So the reader can go on and read and think about comments that they want to get back to the girl about, but they can't physically manipulate the tabs that say approved or needs improvement. So we wanted to make sure everybody here had that ability to go in and approve and not approve, or need improvement, I guess, tab for the girls in their region. We also have the option to create new users. So in the future, once we get comfortable with using this app, if we discuss the benefits of having our committee members being readers, we can certainly look at that and add them in here as well. Then they could come onto this app and access the proposals and final reports instead of having us email them. But we thought we would figure out how comfortable we are with everything before we go that route. There's also a tab here for registered girls. If you click that, all of the girls who are registered in the app will show up with a little bit of information on them. And again, if you click on their name, it'll give you more information, such as email, the notes box, and everything like that. Okay, I believe that takes us through both portions of the app. Hopefully it's a little more clear now how the girls use the web app and also how we use the web app and how the two correlate. I think it's a really great tool that GSUSA has come out with, and I really see the benefit of having this and promoting it to girls. So please, at any time, if you have questions about either the girl page or the council staff page, let me know, and we'll certainly get everyone on the right track. Thank you very much.